great to see what he does there. We got guys going to Auburn, guys going all over the place, and it's just really special. Two goalies, two senior goalies that really brought us together. Great for each other, best of friends. One's going to Lynchburg, one's going to Rhodes. Those guys might see each other on the college fields. It's pretty wild to see, where they're all going to be. But they've been through ups and downs, right? They started as freshmen in the 2020 COVID year and had, a weird scenario kind of start. But the culture that these guys have helped us bring and solidify this new standard is something that I've never been around. This group of guys is unique. It's a group of guys who's, they're best friends. They bring the best out in each other. They're accountable for each other. Kyle O'Neill and Carter Dowdy are two guys that are going to go room together at Lenore Ryan, who's the Division II reigning national champion. So, I'm glad that we got them some rings, but I think there's a lot more rings in their future in terms of what all these guys are going to do, and I can't wait to see what that looks like for them.
No doubt, Coach. And obviously, we talked about them, and I appreciate you sharing about all those guys, and very special for your program. And I want to ask you just who were some of those young guys? 'Cause I know you mentioned that too that stepped up for you this year. Who were some of those guys that obviously you'll be bringing back? We'll talk about that in a second. But who was those young guys that stepped up big this year for you?
Yeah, we had three freshmen make the varsity team, which was outstanding. Two of those guys got some pretty good recognition, being all-state players. Face-off guy by the name of Blake O'Neill, who's Kyle's little brother, is a freshman, right? So he's been around the program for a few years. He's a dog. He's he's got big things in his future. Lincoln Miller is another freshman who, in the opening game of the year against Lambert, when we were not sure who our starting attack was going to be, about 48 hours before the game, had 5 goals, had an around the world highlight goal that went pretty viral, who was excellent for us. Our sophomore class has been outstanding. Those are the guys that we're going to be relying on real soon. And then another guy, Harry Penn, who's became our third defenseman, lockdown guy, who really solidified what we were doing on the defensive side of the ball. So those three freshmen definitely stand out. With junior Ben Weir, who leaps and bounds. Huge year for him, 40-goal scorer. So sophomore Caden Parlow is a guy that played a little bit of midfield, a little bit of attack for us. When Luke Hicks got hurt in the middle of the season, ended up with 40-plus goals as a lefty attackman. Will be returning next year as a rising junior, and so he was he was a freshman last year, so he's got 2 rings. So he's gunning for 4. So we got a lot of good guys coming back.
No doubt. And then, Coach, if you had to say what's been kind of your favorite moment from this season? I mean, obviously, you guys have went to North Carolina. You've played some of the best here in the state. What's been kind of your favorite moment with your group this past year?
I think the last 15 minutes of being in the locker room together after the state championship. The goal is to play as long as you can. We had an opportunity to play the first game of the year and the last game of the year, so we had every day possible to be with these guys. Emotional group, gonna miss them a lot, but started getting choked up here. But that's what it means. Just that opportunity to spend some more time with those guys, and going back to back is really special. And yeah, that's about it. Just we got our banquet tonight, so I'm sure there'll be a lot more tears coming in terms of tears of joy. But these guys deserve every opportunity, and